What if the thing you're doing to protect your RAM is actually destroying it? I made one of these mistakes for 3 years. Thought I was being smart. Thought I was saving money. It cost me a transmission. 15 mistakes on this list. I made 6 of them. Some of them you're probably making right now. Stay until the end for the one mistake that kills more RAMs than anything else. Dealers won't warn you. Mechanics profit from it. And it takes less than 30 seconds to fix. Mistake number 1, trusting the oil life monitor. Let's start with the one that gets more RAM owners than almost anything else. That little percentage on your dashboard, the one that tells you when to change your oil, the one that says 40%, 30%, 20%, it's lying to you, not intentionally, but it's making assumptions about how you drive, and those assumptions are probably wrong. The oil life monitor doesn't know you towed a trailer last weekend. It doesn't know you've been doing short trips in cold weather. It doesn't know about the dusty road you took to the job site. It's just counting miles and making guesses. For Hemi especially, that monitor will let you go 10,000 miles or more between changes, and that's way too long. I've seen sludge-caked engines on trucks that followed the schedule. I've seen lifter failures on Hemis with perfect service records because the service intervals were too long. The oil looked clean on the dipstick, but inside the engine, it had already broken down. The additives were depleted, the detergents were used up, and the damage was happening with every mile. Change your oil every 5,000 miles on full synthetic, every 4,000 if you tow. Ignore the monitor. Your engine will thank you. Mistake number 2, using the wrong oil weight. Your owner's manual specifies an oil weight for a reason. The engineers tested that engine with that specific viscosity. They designed the tolerances around it. They calibrated the oil pressure system for it. But guys walk into the parts store and grab whatever's on sale, or the quick lube place says, "We recommend 5W30 for high mileage trucks," when your Hemi calls for 5W20. Wrong oil weight means wrong oil pressure.
There it goes. Hey!
It means oil that doesn't flow properly when cold. It means accelerated wear on bearings, lifters, and cam lobes. On Hemis with the MDS system, wrong viscosity can cause the lifter oil management system to malfunction. And that leads directly to the lifter failures everyone talks about. I talked to a guy last year who ran 10W30 in his 5.7 Hemi because thicker is better for protection. Within 40,000 miles, he had a lifter tick. The thicker oil couldn't get into the small passages fast enough at startup. The lifters ran dry, and now he's looking at a $5,000 repair. Check your manual. Use exactly what it says. This isn't the place to get creative. Mistake number 3, skipping transmission fluid changes. This is the one that cost me a transmission. For 3 years, I believed the lifetime fluid myth. The dealer said it was sealed for life. The manual didn't have a service interval. So I never touched it. At 140,000 miles, the transmission started slipping. By 145,000, it was done. Rebuild cost me $4,800. Here's what I learned the hard way. There's no such thing as lifetime fluid. That's marketing speak for it'll last until the warranty expires. The fluid in your transmission is doing multiple jobs at once. It's lubricating gears. It's actuating clutch packs through hydraulic pressure. It's cooling the torque converter. It's carrying away wear particles. And over time, it breaks down. The friction modifiers get depleted. The fluid gets contaminated, and the transmission starts to suffer. You won't feel it at first. The shifts might get slightly harsher. There might be a tiny delay when you put it in drive. Most people don't notice, and by the time you do notice, the clutch packs are already damaged. Change your transmission fluid every 60,000 miles. Drop the pan, replace the filter, refill. Don't flush it, just drain and fill. Your transmission will last twice as long. I know guys who have hit 250,000 miles on their original transmission. The secret? They change the fluid every 50,000 to 60,000 miles without fail. Meanwhile, the lifetime fluid crowd is shopping for rebuilt transmissions at 130,000. Mistake number 4, ignoring the Hemi tick. If you've got a 5.7 or 6.4 Hemi and you hear a light ticking noise on startup, don't ignore it. That's not normal Hemi sound. That's not just how they are. That's the sound of lifters starving for oil and slowly destroying themselves. I see this constantly on RAM forums. Guys post videos of their engines ticking and ask, "Is this normal?" And half the responses say yes. It's just what Hemis do. Don't worry about it. That's terrible advice. The tick is caused by roller lifters with needle bearings that aren't getting enough oil. At first, it's just noise. But those bearings are wearing down. Eventually, the lifter collapses. When it does, it sends metal through your engine. It destroys the camshaft, and suddenly you're looking at a $4,000 to $6,000 repair. Or worse. Caught early, you might get away with an oil change, some additive, and more frequent service intervals. Caught late, you're pulling the engine apart. The tick is a warning. Listen to it. Don't let forum advice cost you an engine. Mistake number 5, warming up by idling. I see this constantly. Guys start their Ram, let it idle for 10 or 15 minutes to warm it up, then drive off. This is doing more harm than good. When your engine idles, it doesn't build enough heat to burn off condensation and fuel contamination in the oil. The engine runs rich at idle, especially when cold. That extra fuel washes past the rings and dilutes your oil. The condensation from combustion doesn't get hot enough to evaporate. That stuff accumulates. It creates acids. It creates sludge. Modern engines are designed to be driven gently right after startup. That's how they warm up properly, under light load, with oil circulating through the whole system with enough heat to burn off contaminants. Start your truck. Wait 30 seconds for oil pressure to build. Then drive gently for the first few minutes. That's it. Long idle warm-ups are a habit from the carburetor days. Your fuel-injected Ram doesn't need it, and it's actually hurting your engine. I used to do this every winter morning. 15 minutes of idling while I drank my coffee. Thought I was being good to my truck. Turns out, I was just accelerating wear and wasting fuel. Mistake number 6, towing without a transmission cooler. If you tow anything regularly, boats, trailers, campers, and you don't have an auxiliary transmission cooler, you're cooking your transmission from the inside. The factory cooler is designed for the truck without a load. It's adequate for normal driving, but add a few thousand pounds behind it and transmission temps skyrocket. I've seen guys towing in summer with transmission temps hitting 250, 260, even 280 degrees. That's way past the safe zone. I had a buddy who towed his boat every weekend for 2 summers. No cooler. By the 3rd summer, his transmission was slipping. He thought he got a bad one. No, he cooked it. Twice a week, every week, for 2 years. Hot fluid breaks down faster. The friction modifiers stop working. Clutch packs wear faster. Seals harden and leak. Every degree over 200 is taking life off your transmission. An aftermarket transmission cooler costs $150 to $300 installed. A transmission rebuild costs $4,000 to $8,000. If you tow, get a cooler. It's the cheapest insurance you'll ever buy. Mistake number 7, ignoring differential fluid. When's the last time you changed your differential fluid? If you had to think about it, it's been too long. Your differentials are full of gears spinning at high speed, metal on metal. The only thing protecting them is a thin film of gear oil. When that oil breaks down, the gears wear. When the gears wear, you get noise. When you get noise, you're already looking at an expensive repair. Most people don't even know differential fluid exists. It's not something the dealer pushes. It's not on the quick lube menu. It just sits there, slowly breaking down until the differential starts howling. Change your differential fluid every 50,000 miles, every 30,000 if you tow heavy. And if you've ever submerged your axles in water, mud, floods, creek crossings, change it immediately. Water destroys gear oil. It causes rust on the gear surfaces. I've seen differentials fail within a few thousand miles of a water crossing because nobody thought to change the fluid. A differential service costs $100 to $150. A rear-end rebuild costs $1,500 to $2,500. This is basic math that too many Ram owners fail. Mistake number 8, neglecting brake fluid. Brake fluid absorbs moisture over time. Even in a sealed system, water molecules find their way in through rubber hoses and seals. That moisture lowers the boiling point of the fluid. When your brakes get hot, that moisture turns to steam. Steam compresses, and your brake pedal goes soft when you need it most. But here's the worst part. The moisture also corrodes your brake lines from the inside. The rust builds up where you can't see it. The lines look fine on the outside. And then one day, you press the pedal and it goes to the floor. I've seen brake lines fail on trucks that looked perfect, no visible rust anywhere. Just sudden, complete brake loss because the lines were rotted from within. Flush your brake fluid every 3 years or 50,000 miles. It costs $100. A brake line failure could cost you everything. This isn't optional maintenance. This is safety. Your brakes are the only thing standing between you and whatever's in front of you. Treat them that way. Mistake number 9. Using cheap filters. The $3 oil filter from the bargain bin. It's not saving you money. It's costing you an engine. Cheap filters have less filtering media. They have weaker bypass valves that open too easily. They let more contaminants through. And those contaminants circulate through your engine, wearing down bearings, scoring cylinder walls, damaging lifters. I've cut open cheap filters and quality filters side by side. The difference is obvious. One filter looked like it would barely stop sand. The other looked like it could filter water. Guess which one cost $3 more? The cheap ones have thin, sparse filtering material. The good ones are packed with dense media that actually catches particles. Use quality filters: Mopar, Wix, Napa Gold, Fram Ultra. Spend the extra $5. Your engine has thousands of precision machine parts inside it. Protect them. Same goes for air filters and fuel filters. Cheap filters mean dirty air and dirty fuel getting into places they shouldn't be. A $20 air filter protects a $10,000 engine. That's a trade I'll make every time. Mistake number 10. Flooring it when cold. Your engine needs time to reach operating temperature. The oil needs to warm up and flow properly. The metal components need to expand to their design tolerances. The transmission fluid needs to thin out and circulate. When you start your truck and immediately floor it, you're putting maximum stress on an engine that isn't ready for it. Cold oil doesn't protect as well. Tight tolerances mean more friction. You're accelerating wear on every moving part. This is especially important for Hemis with the MDS system. Those lifters need proper oil flow before they're asked to work hard. Hammering the throttle with cold oil is a recipe for lifter problems. Drive gently for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Let everything warm up. Then you can get on it. Your truck will still be fast after it's warm. Give it the time it needs. Mistake number 11. Ignoring the check engine light. The check engine light isn't a suggestion. It's not something you can get to eventually. It's your truck telling you something is wrong. That light isn't there to annoy you. It's there because something in your truck is out of spec. Maybe it's minor. Maybe it's not. But ignoring it is gambling with your engine. I've seen guys drive for months with a check engine light on. It's probably just a sensor. The truck runs fine. I'll deal with it later. Then later comes, and a $200 oxygen sensor problem has turned into a $2,500 catalytic converter replacement, or a small EVAP leak has caused fuel system damage, or a misfire has been dumping raw fuel into the exhaust and destroying components. The check engine light exists for a reason. When it comes on, get it scanned. Most auto parts stores will do it for free. Find out what's wrong and fix it before it becomes something bigger. A $50 scan and a $150 repair beats a $2,000 repair every single time. Mistake number 12. Skipping coolant flushes. Your coolant does more than prevent overheating. It has additives that protect against corrosion, lubricate the water pump, and maintain proper pH levels throughout the cooling system. Over time, those additives break down. The coolant becomes acidic, and it starts eating your engine from the inside, corroding water passages, damaging head gaskets, destroying your water pump bearings. I've seen head gasket failures caused by nothing more than old coolant. The gasket didn't blow from pressure or overheating. It failed because acidic coolant ate away at the sealing surfaces for years. By the time it let go, the head surface was pitted and needed machining. I've seen water pumps fail at 60,000 miles because the coolant was never changed. The bearing surfaces corroded, the seal failed, and the pump started leaking. Flush your coolant every 5 years or 100,000 miles. Use the correct type for your truck. Most Rams use OAT coolant. Don't mix different coolant types. If you don't know what's in there, flush the whole system and start fresh. Mistake number 13. Over-tightening lug nuts. This one surprises people, but it's a real problem. When you over-torque your lug nuts, either by hand with a long breaker bar or with an impact gun set too high, you can warp your brake rotors. The excessive clamping force distorts the rotor surface. It might not be visible, but you'll feel it. Warped rotors cause vibration when braking. They cause uneven pad wear. They cause that pulsing feeling in the brake pedal, and they mean you're replacing rotors way sooner than you should. I've seen guys go through 3 sets of rotors before someone figured out they were over-tightening the lug nuts every time they rotated tires. Use a torque wrench. Ram lug nuts typically spec at 130 to 140 foot-pounds depending on the model. Check your manual for the exact number. Tighten them in a star pattern to that spec. It takes an extra 2 minutes. It saves you hundreds in premature brake repairs. Mistake number 14, running low on DEF. If you've got a diesel Ram with the DEF system, don't let that tank run dry. When the DEF runs out, your truck goes into limp mode. Speed is limited to 5 miles per hour. Power is reduced to almost nothing. You're basically stranded until you add DEF. And if you keep trying to drive, you can damage the SCR catalyst, which costs $2,000 to $4,000 to replace. The DEF warning comes on with plenty of time to refill. You get multiple warnings. The truck practically begs you to add fluid. Don't ignore it. DEF is cheap, about $15 for 2.5 gallons at any auto parts store or truck stop. It's available everywhere. Running out of DEF to save a few bucks is one of the dumbest ways to destroy an expensive emission system. Just keep it topped up. I've seen guys stranded on the highway because they ignored the warning for 100 miles. Thought they could make it home. They couldn't. Quick thing, if you're getting value from this, hit subscribe. I put out videos every week to help Ram owners avoid expensive repairs and make smarter buying decisions. Mistake number 15, not checking your own truck. Here it is. The mistake I promised you at the beginning. The one that kills more Rams than anything else. Not looking. Not popping the hood once a month to check fluid levels. Not walking around the truck to look for leaks. Not listening for new noises. Not paying attention to how the truck feels when you drive it. Most major failures don't happen suddenly. They build up over time. There are warning signs. Low fluid levels, small leaks, subtle noises, slight changes in how the truck drives. But if you never look, you never see them. And by the time the problem gets bad enough to be obvious, it's already expensive. I learned this lesson the hard way. Missed a small coolant leak for 2 months, didn't notice until the temp gauge spiked. Head gasket, $3,200. All because I didn't pop the hood. Here's what I do every month. Takes less than 5 minutes. Pop the hood, check the oil level, check the coolant level. Look at the belts for cracks or wear. Look at the hoses for bulges or soft spots. Look under the truck for any fresh fluid spots on the ground. Start the engine. Listen for anything unusual. Any new ticks, knocks, or whines. Anything that wasn't there before. Drive the truck. Pay attention. Does it shift the same? Does it brake the same? Does the steering feel right? Is there any new vibration? That's it. 5 minutes a month. And it catches problems when they're small, when they're cheap to fix, instead of when they become catastrophic failures. The guys who make it to 300,000 miles aren't lucky. They're not driving special trucks. They're just paying attention. They catch the small stuff before it becomes big stuff. Your Ram talks to you. It tells you when something's wrong. Your job is to listen. 15 mistakes, now you know all of them. Stop making these, and your Ram will outlast everyone else's. If you want the complete maintenance schedule to hit 300,000 miles, watch this video. And if you're not sure which Ram engine to trust in the first place, I broke down the 3 worst and 4 best right here. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.